German Shepherds may look like the perfect dogs, loyal, fearless, and intelligent. They guide the blind, hunt down criminals, even serve in the military. But here's the shocking truth: owning one of the smartest and most powerful breeds in the world can turn into a disaster if you make just a few mistakes. And sadly, most owners do them without even knowing. In this video, I'll show you the 8 things you must never do to your German Shepherd if you want them to stay healthy, balanced, and truly connected to you. Ignore this, and you may end up with a stressed, destructive, or even aggressive dog you can't control. But before we begin, if you'd like to keep getting real tips that protect both you and your pet, make sure you subscribe, because we're here to make you the best pet parent you can be. Let's dive in. Number 1. Never be spontaneous. German Shepherds are not the kind of dogs that thrive on surprises. They were bred for order, for discipline, for clear commands. When you strip away their structure, you take away the very thing that makes them feel safe in your world. Imagine being a soldier one day and suddenly being told, "Forget the rules, just do whatever you like." That's what it feels like for your shepherd when you skip routine. Science backs this up. Studies in canine behavior show that dogs with consistent daily patterns display fewer anxiety-driven behaviors, less pacing, less whining, less chewing at doors. For a breed as intelligent as the German Shepherd, consistency is more than comfort. It's communication. Every feeding time, every walk at the same hour, every training cue, it all tells your shepherd, "You can trust me. I'll keep this world predictable for you." And here's the part that often gets overlooked: structure doesn't just benefit your dog. It benefits you, especially if you're older and looking for companionship that grounds your day. Your shepherd will wake you, move with you, rest with you in rhythm. It's a partnership built on repetition, not chaos. So never confuse routine with boredom. To your German Shepherd, routine is love in action. It's proof that you are dependable, steady, and worthy of their loyalty. And when you hold to that, you'll have a calmer, happier dog by your side. But remember, structure alone won't save your shepherd if you make the next mistake, one that can slowly tear at their heart every time you walk out the door. Thing number 2, never leave them alone. Too long, 4 hours. That might not sound like much to you. You run an errand, meet a friend, maybe take a nap. But to your German Shepherd, 4 hours can feel like forever. This is a breed built for work, for guarding, for living in sync with people. Leaving them alone too long doesn't just make them bored, it makes them restless, anxious, and sometimes even broken inside. Think of it this way. A shepherd left alone too often starts inventing jobs for themselves. Barking at every sound outside becomes their mission. Shredding the couch feels like a task. Digging up the yard gives them a sense of purpose. They're not misbehaving, they're trying to survive the loneliness. And once those habits start, they're incredibly hard to undo. Science shows that separation anxiety in working breeds like German Shepherds often leads to destructive behaviors, high cortisol levels, and even shortened lifespans. These aren't just naughty dogs, they're heart-sick companions. And if you've ever come home to a shepherd with wide, desperate eyes, you already know they're not angry at you. They're hurting without you. For older owners, this truth hits even harder. Your shepherd may be your closest friend, but remember, you are their entire world. They wait for you, they listen for your footsteps, they measure their day by your presence. So don't think of leaving them too long as harmless. To a German Shepherd, it's like being abandoned over and over again. If you truly love your dog, make arrangements, walkers, sitters, neighbors, even family, to break up those long, empty hours. Because every time you disappear for too long, a piece of their trust disappears with you. And here's the real warning. Even if you never leave them alone, you can still harm them in another way by feeding them the wrong food. And that mistake could cut their life short before you ever see it coming. Thing number 3, never overfeed or feed the wrong diet. One extra scoop. That's all it takes to set your German Shepherd on a path that could cost them years of pain. You see that eager face, those pleading eyes, and your heart melts. You want to give them more, but love in the form of food can become the very thing that cripples them. German Shepherd puppies grow fast, sometimes too fast. Veterinary studies show that overfeeding during these growth months can lead to weak bones, joint deformities, and lifelong hip dysplasia. Nearly 1 in 5 shepherds develops hip problems, and diet is one of the most powerful triggers. A few months of careless feeding can set the stage for a lifetime of suffering. And here's the cruel irony. The dog you overfeed out of kindness becomes the dog who limps away in pain years later. It doesn't end with puppies. Adult shepherds need balance too. Too many calories, too many treats, and not enough control will weigh them down, stress their joints, and make even simple walks painful. For older shepherds, obesity can shorten their lifespan, dramatically turning what could have been golden years into a daily struggle. And it's not just about how much you feed, but what you feed. Shepherds need high-quality protein-balanced minerals and the right fat levels. Skipping proper nutrition or choosing cheap fillers robs them of the fuel they need to live as the strong, agile, noble dogs they were bred to be. So remember, this every meal you place in their bowl is either medicine or poison. Don't let convenience or pity decide. Let knowledge and discipline guide you, because the food you give today shapes the body they'll carry tomorrow. And yet, even if you feed them perfectly, another danger still lingers. A danger not in the food, but in the company they keep. Because a shepherd, no matter how gentle, should never be left alone with children. Thing number 4. Never leave them unsupervised with children. A German Shepherd can be the most loving guardian a child will ever know. Many owners describe them as part nanny, part bodyguard, watchful, patient, and protective. But here's the truth. Most people don't like to admit love is not the same as safety. No matter how gentle your shepherd is, never ever leave them alone with children. This isn't because German Shepherds are dangerous. Quite the opposite. Their size, their power, their instincts, those are the very reasons we trust them. But those same traits can turn a moment of play into an accident you can't take back. A shepherd leaning in too close can knock a toddler down. A protective reaction to a stranger approaching might scare a child. Even a quick movement or loud squeal can trigger instincts that no amount of training fully erases. Behavior experts and veterinarians are clear on this: large breeds, and small children should always be supervised. Not because one can't be trusted, but because both are unpredictable in different ways. Children don't always know how to respect boundaries, and shepherds, loyal as they are, sometimes respond with more force than intended. For families, this rule is simple but vital. If you're introducing a shepherd to kids, do it slowly, gently, and with you present every second. Teach children how to treat the dog with respect, and teach your dog that calm behavior earns praise. That balance creates the bond you're hoping for, a safe, lifelong friendship. Never mistake your shepherd's protective heart for a babysitter's patience. They may love your child more fiercely than anything in the world, but love doesn't replace supervision. And remember, this even perfect supervision won't protect your shepherd from another silent danger, the danger of not giving them the exercise their body and mind desperately crave. Thing number 5. Never skip exercise and mental stimulation. A German Shepherd without exercise is like a storm with nowhere to go. This breed was designed to move to herd, to work from dawn to dusk. When you take that away, When you cage their energy inside four quiet walls, you don't just get a restless dog. You get a frustrated, anxious creature who starts inventing chaos. Think about it. That chewing on your shoes, the holes dug in the yard, the endless barking at shadows, those aren't random bad habits. They are desperate outlets for a body and mind that were built for action. A shepherd denied exercise will find its own way to burn off steam, and I promise you won't like the results. Science confirms this. Studies on working breeds show that 2 hours or more of daily activity, physical and mental, are essential to prevent destructive behavior and stress-related illness. For shepherds, that doesn't just mean a lazy walk around the block. It means runs, obedience drills, fetch games, problem-solving tasks. Their brains need the workout as much as their muscles. And here's the part that stings: many older owners underestimate just how much energy their shepherd still has. You may slow down with age, but your shepherd doesn't know that. They're still waiting for the job, the challenge, the adventure. If you can't provide it yourself, find help. A dog walker, a family member, puzzle toys, anything that keeps their body moving and their mind sharp. Because here's the harsh truth: if you don't give them a job, they will create one. And the job they invent may be barking until the neighbors complain, destroying furniture, or worse, turning that restless energy inward as stress that slowly shortens their life. But even if you give them all the exercise in the world, there's another enemy waiting quietly in their body. One that no amount of running can prevent unless you fight it head-on. It's the silent thief of mobility, hip, and joint disease. Thing number 6. Never ignore hip and joint health. Nearly 1 in 5 German Shepherds will suffer from hip dysplasia, and even more will face arthritis or joint pain as they age. This isn't just a statistic, it's a reality that breaks hearts every single day. Owners watch their once powerful shepherd struggle to climb stairs, hesitate before jumping into the car, or limp after a short walk. And too often, by the time the signs are obvious, the damage is already done. German Shepherds carry a genetic risk for joint disease, but the way you raise them can make that risk explode. Overfeeding during puppyhood, forcing exercise that's too hard on growing bones, or neutering too early, all of these choices can set off problems that haunt your shepherd for life. Veterinary research has shown that shepherds neutered before 1 year of age are far more likely to develop hip dysplasia and torn cruciate ligaments. Add excess weight on top of that, and you're stacking the odds against your own dog. Ignoring joint health doesn't just rob your shepherd of mobility, it steals years from their companionship. Pain shortens play, weakens bonds, and slowly turns a fearless protector into a shadow of the dog they once were. But here's the hopeful part: you can fight back. Keep them at a healthy weight. Work with your veterinarian on supplements, diet, and exercise that protect their hips. Choose safe activities that build strength without grinding down joints. Think prevention, not repair. Because every step your shepherd takes without pain is a gift both to them and to you. Protect their joints, and you're not just saving their body, you're saving the precious time you have together. But even if their body stays strong, there's another mistake that can rob them of happiness just as quickly. It happens when you believe training ends once they're grown. Thing number 7. Never stop training too soon. Training is not a puppy project you finish and then forget. For a German Shepherd, training is life. This breed was designed to learn to solve, to respond to guidance long after the puppy fuzz has vanished. When you stop training too soon, you don't just lose control. You rob your shepherd of the mental stimulation they crave as much as food and exercise. Think about it. A puppy learns sit and stay in weeks. But what about when they're 2 or 5 or 10? Without continued training, their sharp mind starts to dull. Boredom creeps in. Bad habits replace good ones. And here's the part: no one tells you older. Shepherds need training just as much as the young ones. It keeps their brains alive, keeps their bond with you sharp, and keeps them feeling useful long after their bodies begin to slow down. Science proves it too. Dogs that continue structured training throughout life show stronger cognitive health, less anxiety, and even better longevity. For a breed like the German Shepherd, who thrives on purpose, stopping training is like pulling the rug out from under them. They don't understand why the lesson stopped. They only feel the silence. For older owners, lifelong training can become the bridge between your slowing pace and your shepherd's enduring energy. Short, gentle sessions, 5 minutes of recall a new trick or a scent game, can bring the spark back to their eyes. And in those moments, it's not just about obedience. It's about love being spoken in the language they understand best: structure, praise, and shared purpose. So never think of training as something you finish. Think of it as a lifelong conversation, one that deepens with every passing year. But there's one more mistake, one final truth, that overshadows all the others. It's the one too many owners realize only after it's too late, underestimating the emotional bond that defines this breed. Thing number 8, never underestimate their emotional bond. A German Shepherd doesn't just live in your house. They live in your heart. To them, you are not simply their owner. You are their family, their reason, their world. And when you underestimate that emotional bond, you risk breaking something far more fragile than bones or joints. You risk breaking their spirit. These dogs feel everything you do. Studies have shown that dogs mirror their owners' stress levels, even their heart rates. When you're anxious, they sense it. When you're grieving, they grieve with you. And when you turn away from them, whether through neglect, impatience, or indifference, they don't just notice. They carry it like a wound. I've spoken with shepherd owners in their 70s who tell me losing their dog was like losing a spouse. One man told me his Rocky lived almost 14 years, and when the day came to say goodbye, the silence in his home was unbearable. That's because the bond with a shepherd is not casual. It's woven into every routine, every glance, every moment of shared life. If you ever doubt their emotional depth, just watch how they wait for you. The way they follow you from room to room. The way they rest their head on your lap when you're low. That's not instinct, it's love, pure and simple. So don't make the mistake of underestimating this bond. Speak gently. Spend the extra time. Let them feel your presence. Because to a German Shepherd, a harsh word can echo for days, and your absence can feel like abandonment. Here's the final truth. The greatest mistake any shepherd owner makes is believing their dog will live forever. They won't. But if you honor their bond every single day, you'll never have to carry the regret of wishing you had loved them better when you had the chance. Now you know them, the 8 things you must never do to your German Shepherd. They may sound simple, but behind each one lies the secret to giving your shepherd not just a longer life, but a better life. A life filled with strength, with purpose, with the deep companionship that only this breed can offer. German Shepherds are loyal, fearless, and true companions until the very end. But remember this, they only get one life, and you are the one who decides what that life will feel like. Every choice you make, routine diet, exercise, training, patience, love, writes the story of their years with you. And one day when you look back, you'll want to know that you gave them everything they deserved. So let me leave you with this thought. To you, a German Shepherd may be part of your life. But to them, you are their entire world. Honor that world every day. If this video helped you see your shepherd in a new light, stay with us. Subscribe now because we're bringing you more guides, more insights, and more truths that will make you a better companion to the most incredible dogs on the planet. And in our next video, I'll share with you 7 German Shepherd facts that even lifelong owners don't know. Trust me, you won't want to miss it.